All right, we're taking it back to the old school here. I'm doing a response video here. My homie, I am Brad1022. You can check him out on YouTube and Twitch. He's been doing some tier list videos lately, and kind of got the ball rolling for me to do a couple tier lists that I'm planning on making. But his most recent one was the video game console tier list, and I had to respond to that video he made, because, oh my God, Brad, Brad, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I gotta come in here and I gotta set y'all fucking straight, okay? I am going to be skipping quite a few of the consoles down here, just because I don't have enough knowledge to speak on them. But other than that, let's just get started. First up, we have the PSP, which, was just... I grew up with a PSP, man, and, there was, God of War, Chains of Olympus, Jak and Daxter. I had the Sims 2 pets. That shit was so fun. And, portable consoles are so much better when you're a kid because, now as an adult, I just do my gaming at home, right? And I go out and I'm not really fiending to game, but when you're a kid, your parents will drag you places and stuff, but you got that little PSP in your pocket and you can just sit in the corner and game while your parents are fucking socializing. I definitely would say PSP has got to be S, without a doubt in my mind. I don't think it's quite GOAT. GOAT is I think we can only put one console in GOAT. I actually really think we can only put one in GOAT, and I still haven't really decided which one we're going to put in there. So let's just continue on. Next up, we have the PlayStation 3. Now, the PlayStation 3 has a really special place in my heart because Little Big Planet, Metal Gear Solid. This console was actually very good for backwards compatibility, which I am going to be considering while making my decisions, those kinds of things. The original version was backwards compatible with PS2. Even after the PS2 backwards compatibility went away, they released some downloadable PS2 classics to kind of make up for that. Furthermore, every PS3 ever is backwards compatible with PS1 games, and as well as being able to download them from the store. So, not only did I get to play a lot of PS3 games on the PS3, I experienced, a lot of PS2 games for the first time, a lot of PS1 games for the first time, as well. So, it had a lot of problems, too. I can't lie about that. But then you have to consider the fact that at this time, Sony's online service was still free. I remember all the Xbox kids whining, crying about how they had to beg their parents for an Xbox Live Gold subscription. I never had that fucking problem because I was a PS3 kid. I actually was going to slap this in A initially, but I got to put it in S, baby. It's the PS3, okay? They're known to fucking crap out sometimes, but we can forgive that. We can really forgive that. Next up, sorry, people might already see some consoles that I've skipped, and they're like, what the fuck, Dan? We want to hear your take, but I can't really give my take because I don't, have a lot of knowledge. Now, not that I have a ton of knowledge about the GameCube, but man, the GameCube, it was just doing stuff. I've never actually played Luigi's Mansion for myself, but I know people really love that game. And I like the aesthetics of it too. I've watched footage of the game before. I really like it. Resident Evil 4, one of my favorite games of all time, was originally on this console. Shit, what else did they have? Oh, Brad mentioned this in his video. Fucking Double Dash, dude. Fucking Mario Kart Double Dash. I played that shit with the homie one time, and it was really fun. I like the look of the GameCube too. The purple design, the funky controller, the little tiny discs, man. Actually, I remember one time I played Shadow the Hedgehog on the GameCube with my buddy. We played some multiplayer Shadow the Hedgehog. Not that Shadow the Hedgehog's that great of a game, nor was it an exclusive. But still, that's a fond memory I have. So, God, I don't have a lot of basis in this decision, but you know what? Just to respect it, I'm gonna actually agree with Brad on this one, and I'm gonna slap this in the A. Good shit. The Nintendo 64. Dude, Mario 64 and Legend of Zelda, the biggest speed games of all time, without a doubt. Not to mention just really fucking good games, dude. Like, oh my god. And just the transition from 2D gaming to 3D gaming, I think Nintendo did a pretty good job. Not quite as good a job as Sony, I don't think I would say. Sony really fucking came onto the scene hot, bro. And actually, like, that kind of fucked over the success of the Nintendo 64. Like, Sony coming onto the scene with the PS1. The Nintendo 64 probably would have done a lot better if it wasn't for the PS1 completely overshadowing it. But, of course, we still gotta give respect. I'm sorry, boys. I don't think she's an S tier, but I'm definitely slapping it in A. Next up, we have the Nintendo Entertainment System, dude. Now, you really got to give respect here because, like, it started so much. Fuck, the Nintendo Entertainment System saved the gaming industry. The gaming industry was fucking crashing. People were like, yeah, this is bullshit. All these, like, garbage-ass fucking games coming out, charging big fucking money for it, and like people were fed up and people weren't buying into it. Boom, the NES hits the scene with fucking Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, where you actually like get a gun and shoot at the screen, and it registers that. Like, that's so crazy to me how they did that in the fucking 80s, bro. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. I think once again, I gotta go A tier. I can't quite put it on S, but I'm definitely not putting it any lower than A. That's an A plus. Just for how good this console was for its time, let alone the fact that it like saved gaming in a sense. You know what I mean? Okay, which one of these is the Genesis? Is this the Genesis? Okay, let's pretend this one right here is the Genesis. Maybe it's not, but even if this isn't a picture of the Genesis, I think so, because this is like a Mega Drive, isn't it? I'm pretty sure I'm right about this being the Genesis. Now, dude, low-key, I did grow up with Genesis a little bit, like playing Sonic 2 and stuff. There's a couple other games on there. A lot of games that weren't actually that fantastic, but I still fondly remember from my childhood. I had the Toy Story game, and I think the Lion King game too. And I mean, God, just like the style, the art styles that came with this console, like it just looks so beautiful. Actually, compared to the NES, I mean, the NES can be kind of an eyesore these days. But Genesis visuals, I think, really still hold up. Not to mention the music. Okay, people have been doing this thing a lot. Actually, shout out to the N64 for their sound fonts, because people have been doing like popular song remixes with the Mario 64 instruments. So, like, for example, the entire album Nevermind by Nirvana done in the Mario 64 sound font. Weezer's Blue album. I've seen Alice in Chains' Dirt too. Like, Mario 64 remixes are my favorite, but like Genesis remixes too. People do the same thing with the fucking with the Genesis sound font, and it's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's A tier. I'm out here. I'm finna dick ride every fucking console. Dude, next up we have the PlayStation 1. Now, Brad put this in D tier. And I'm really fucking disappointed in that. I like we have fun, you know, we joke around, we tease each other, but no, I'm actually seriously fucking touched that this guy put the PS1 in D tier. Let's think about how the PS1 launched into the scene when everyone was transitioning to 3D. What, like, the fucking Nintendo had the 64, which came onto the scene super late, and compared to what the PS1 was doing, I don't know if it really did as much. And, like, what did Sega have? Like, the Dreamcast? And that was, like, I think that was their last fucking console, bro. That shit flopped hard. So, talking, like, pure success and, like, cultural impact, like, Sony just broke out onto the scene with everything they had. They put their whole fucking Sony ussy into it, dude. This shit was fucking crazy. Okay, and you got classics like fucking Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, fucking, dude, the first Metal Gear Solid. Man, this is where Metal Gear Solid started. Technically, it started on the MSX with the original Metal Gears, but I don't count those. That's when Metal Gear Solid started. Dude, what other PS1 games am I sleeping on? I gotta think. Dude, fucking Tekken? Fucking Tekken, bro? Tekken 2? That was my fucking shit. Yo, I know I'm sleeping on more PS1 games, but I'm gonna stop dick riding, and I'm just gonna go right ahead and throw this in S. Next up, we have the fucking Game Boy, dude. Like, the humble beginnings of portable gaming, right? I threw that PSP up in S tier because of my fond memories of being able to fucking bring my video games with me, right? And you know, like, when you hear your mom walking in the room, so you shove your DS under your pillow, like, those kind of vibes, man. So I never actually, like, had an original Game Boy for myself, but I've played a few Game Boy games, and, like, this shit started Pokemon. Dude, Super Mario Land as well. We got to talk about Super Mario Land. That's a game I've never played for myself, but I'm very interested in playing one day because it just looks so fucking cool. And other games in the Mario Land series actually started ideas that would make it into, like, later Mario entries, like side flipping, dude. That move, the idea for that move came from one of the Mario Land games, which is, like, one of the most, like, popular speedrunner techs now. They doing those side flips, bro. This shit's fucking crazy. But obviously, like, the original Game Boy itself is definitely very dated now. Dude, side note, I just remembered this. I only just remembered this now. I had a Game Boy Color once, bro. I had a fucking Game Boy Color. That shit was dope. I had fucking Croc on my fucking Game Boy Color, bro. That shit was the fucking shit. What the fuck happened to that Game Boy Color? I have no idea. It's gone forever, but that's fine. Game Boy, dude, it gets a B because, like, that's the thing. Even if some of these consoles, like, maybe weren't that good, like, dude, you gotta put respect on it. Xbox One, man. Dude, I've actually never had an Xbox One for myself, but I've heard nothing but good things about the console from people that have played it. And it did something that Sony didn't. Sony went to the PS4 and was like, you want to play all your PS3 games? Psych, just hope your PS3 doesn't break, haha. But Xbox said, nah, you can play most of your 360 games. Cool. Like, not every 360 game works on the one, but, like, they came out with a lot of backwards compatible titles, and they kept adding on throughout the console's lifespan. Like, they kept working to make more games backwards compatible, which is, like, such an important feat for video game preservation, dude. I'm super fucking passionate about that shit. So I actually have to put Xbox One in S just because of what it did for video game preservation, man. Like, that's, you got to put respect on that. You do. All right, now we're on to the PC, which some might argue doesn't count as a console, but here it is on the list. We're going to rank it. Now, Brad put this as GOAT. I highly, highly, highly fucking disagree. Now, I'm a PC gamer. I love my fucking PC. I'm on my pooter every day. But you got to make the argument that a lot of PC ports of games suck. There's so many games that you can get on PC, technically, right? But, like, these ports are unplayable. Often you need community-made mods to make these games playable. Shit, with some games, you just have to fuck with it to get it to work. Like, after you buy it, you can't just buy it and click play. Like, some of these ports are so fucked, you gotta, like, work to make them work. And, like, with consoles, you know, it's more just pop in and play, minus, obviously, the installation, which we have now. PC, man, it's a gaming console. Windows, too. Shout out Windows. I fucking hate Windows. I would never use any other OS, like Linux or some shit. I would never, no. But, again, at the same time, like, fucking Windows, man. A lot of people will see this as very fucking sinful. I have to put PC at B tier, dude. I think, like, I don't know. There's so many ways where it's preferable to other gaming machines. But again, I can't get over those broken PC ports, and I can't get over Windows. Can't get over it. It's got to sit in B. I'm sorry. Next console I will be ranking is the Super Nintendo S, no question. There's no discussion to be had there. Game Boy Advance. I don't really have anything to discuss here either, dude. S. Dude, next up, we have the fucking Nintendo Wii. The fucking Nintendo Wii, man. Dude, I mean, like, it is such a fucking treasure trove. With, like, Wii Virtual Console, GameCube backwards compatibility. And granted, like, all the Virtual Console games you can't buy anymore. Like, the eShop is down. But you can put some homebrew mods on this Nintendo Wii and make it like the ultimate Nintendo gaming machine. You can just anything Nintendo, any fucking thing Nintendo, Wii or earlier, you can play on this machine. It's fantastic. There's even, like, with homebrew modding, there's even other non-Nintendo games that you can play on this thing. I think they ported, like, InfDev Minecraft onto the Wii. Fucking Minecraft on the Nintendo Wii. It's like the shitty old InfDev version, but, like, oh my god. I almost want to put Wii in GOAT. Just for that. But we can only fucking put one in GOAT. So you know what? We're just going to let this baby sit in S right now. Because I need more time to ponder who is the GOAT. We're just going to keep moving on through the list, and then we will figure out who is the GOAT. PlayStation 4. You have to bring up Bloodborne. Bloodborne is exclusive to this console, and it is arguably the best Souls game. I haven't played Elden Ring. I know people are really stoked on that, and that is a big fucking crazy game. But definitely pre-Elden Ring, best Souls game. Bar none. Fucking love Bloodborne. So sad that I don't have my PS4 anymore. Can't play Bloodborne at the moment. Shit, I used to have a Wii as well. No idea where that went. When I'm staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., I'm thinking about that Wii that I don't have anymore. PS4. The PlayStation 4. Dude. B. Right? Xbox was doing the backwards compatibility thing, and Sony just said no. And then they said, hey, we're going to release this service, PlayStation Now, and you can play PS3 games on that. And everyone's like, oh, that's dope. But it's like you have to stream the games. With the PS4 games on PS Now, you have the option to download them to your hard drive so that, you can play without like input delays and shit. But with the PS3 games, the only option is to stream them, which I don't know why you would play any game like that. Like, why would you not give us the option to just download the game and the emulator and just play it from the hard drive with no troubles? Like, it's kind of a fucking slap in the face to bring that feature, but bring it in such a fucking shit way. PlayStation Vita. Trash. The Xbox 360. Dude, I know people got love for the 360. I have love for the 360 too. I actually had one of these in my teen years. I literally got it because I had a lot of friends that played on Xbox, so I was like, oh, Dad, buy me an Xbox. And then he fucking did, and I could play with my Xbox friends now, which was cool. And, dude, played a whole fucking schwack of games on this thing. Shit, I still wish I had mine because the original Saints Row is only officially playable on the 360. And I remember playing the shit out of the OG Saints Row, man. I loved that shit. Halo 2. I played a lot of Halo as well. Very, very nostalgic. And yes, the 360 had a lot of problems coming out of the gate with like the Red Ring of Death issue and stuff. PS3 had similar issues as well. I believe PS3 had like the yellow light of death. Just consoles dying, which is something you have to consider. The functionality of it, how good it was on release. I mean, shit, a lot of these consoles had like a pretty shitty release lineup. Eventually they get some good games on their roster, but sometimes it starts out pretty rickety. Xbox, even with all the things I dislike about the 360, I loved it. I played so many good games on it. Fucking Halo, man, dude. Like, 360 is A. For sure, dude. Can't put it S, but it's definitely a fucking A. And now we're on to the PS2. PS2 is the GOAT. And only one's going in the GOAT. Only one is going in the GOAT. And it's the PS2. I mean, nostalgia goggles. I grew up with the PS2, man. Metal Gear and shit, right? Of course I love the PS2, but like, dude, it actually, like, it did so much for gaming, I feel. Like, PS2 had a lot of those games that really, like, pushed the fucking system to its limit. Like, even at its launch, like, Metal Gear Solid 2, man, that game is fucking crazy for coming out in 2001. Okay, you got, like, Silent Hill 2 as well. Some of the greatest fucking games ever made. And all those, like, classic, like, GTA San Andreas, man. Dude, that's also where the Red Dead series started with fucking Red Dead Revolver. Never played that, but dude, like, it started the series that we love now. There's no universe where PS2 isn't the GOAT for me. Plus, I mean, dude, it really started the backwards compatibility thing, because from release on the PS2, you can pop in any fucking PS1 game, dude, which is like crazy. Xbox had backwards compatibility too, but it wasn't that good. You needed a hard drive, and some games didn't work, but like Sony definitely was at that time more solid with the backwards compatibility. And then starting on the PS4, they were like, fuck you and your backwards compatibility. But what can you do? And the last one on this list I will be ranking is the Nintendo DS, man. I had a DS for a bit growing up, and dude, fucking Flip Notes, man. This was the first time I ever played a Kirby game. Like, It's A. It's A. Okay, and all these ones down here, again, I'm not ranking because I don't really have enough knowledge to speak on them. Switch, I don't know, I might want to throw somewhere up here because I really want one for those sweet, sweet, juicy exclusives. But maybe we'll get there one day. Anyway, yeah, this is my response to Mr. Brad, and please go check out his channel and his fucking tier list videos. This man is the best. I love him, but also fuck you, Brad. Fuck you. Tier list videos are getting out of hand. If I have to make another motherfucking response to one of your tier list videos, I'm going to lose it, okay? I do not want to be here again, bro. If I have to come back, I am on your ass. That's on the real. I'm not even fucking playing right now. I'm not even fucking playing with you, dog. Yeah, I am. But at the same time, I'm not. That's all for me. Signing off now. Thanks, guys.